Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and in this video we're going to create a health bar from code and control it. Let's begin. Alright, so in the previous video we made this health bar in here. Visually you can see that it has a bar, a background, and a border. The bar has a pivot on the left side and is decreasing in size. When it gets low, it flashes in white, so we can both modify the size and the color of our bar. Now let's create the whole thing through code. Now you could use a prefab and instantiate it exactly like in the editor, but we're going to do the whole thing straight through code. This way, if we want to use this bar in a different project, all we have to do is copy the script, and there's no need to create a package that also includes the prefab. So here in the editor, let's review what we're going to create. So first of all, we have a parent game object in here. It has no components, as you can see, only the health bar script, and it has a scale of 1:1, so it is not scaled at all. Then we have the background, which is placed on local position 00 and has a bar size on the local scale. It is also tinted in gray. Then we have the bar game object, which as you can see is shifted to the left side by half of the size. The size of our bar is 40 and this one is shifted to the left by 20. We're placing it in here so we can essentially have the inner bar pivoted to the left side. So we can modify this one and there you go. It's pivoted on the left side. Okay. Again, there's also no components in here. Then we have the bar sprite as a child of the bar. And in here we do have a sprite renderer. It is tinted in red. As you can see, it has the same size as the background, 45, and it is shifted to the right side. So if we set this on 1, you can see that it is shifted in there, so it occupies exactly the same position, but the parent is pivoted on the left side. So we can easily modify it in here. Okay. And for the border, let's just ignore that for now. So this whole thing is what we're going to create through code. Let's go into the health bar class. And up here, we're going to make a static function to create a health bar. So let's make a public static health bar, and we're going to call it create. Now in here, in order to create, we're going to receive a vector3 for the position on which to spawn the health bar, and a vector3 for the size of the health bar. So let's begin by making the main game object. So game object, let's call it health bar game object, and it's going to be a new game object and call it health bar. We're going to put the health bar game object .transform.position into our position. The scale of this bar, we'll leave it at 1. Now let's make the background. So game object background game object equals a new game object. We're going to call it background, and we're also going to initialize it with a sprite renderer component. Let's set the parent to the main container. So going to background.transform.setParent to our health bar game object.transform. Now let's set the local position to keep it at vector3.0. And for the local scale, it's going to be the size that we receive. And let's go into the background.getComponent sprite renderer to set the color to color.gray. Okay, so our background is now working. Now, since this is a sprite renderer, we need to give it a sprite, otherwise it won't be visible. Now, in order to get a reference to the asset pixel, I'm going to use a script that we created previously called the game assets. You can view the entire video on this script, but essentially it lets me drag references to this script's prefab and then access it anywhere through code. So in here I have a field for the white pixel sprite, and I can access it using this property. So I go through this property to access this white pixel. So in my health bar, let's go again to the sprite render component and set the sprite to the game assets.i.white_pixel. All right. So this way the background should now be fully visible. Now let's make the bar game object. Game object, bar game object, and it's going to be new game object, and let's name it bar. Inside we're going to set the parent, transform.setParent to our health bar game object.transform. Now, as we saw previously, this is simply the container for the pivot for our actual bar sprite. So let's first make the bar sprite. So let's make a bar sprite game object, and we're going to call it bar sprite. Let's copy the background code in here. And for the transform, The bar sprite game object, the transform will be the bar game object and not the main game object. Let's set the bar color to red and again give it the white pixel. Now for the local position, as we saw previously, we have to offset this by half of the size. So for the sprite game object, we want to offset it to the right. So let's put this on new vector 3 of the size.x divided by 2f, so half of the size, and leave it on 0f. And then for the main bar up here, for the bar game object, we need to put it to the left by that offset. Okay. So in here, let's make some comments so this doesn't look as messy. So in here, we are creating the main health bar. Then we are creating the background. Then in here, we are creating the bar. And in here, the bar sprite. All right, so this is much easier to now understand. So one last thing, let's set the sorting order. So for the background game object, it's going to be at the bottom. So grab the sprite renderer and set the sorting order to, let's say, 100. And for the sprite, let's put the sprite at 110. So the sprite is on top of the game object. And finally, let's add this health bar script into the main game object. So we got in here the health bar game object. We're going to add the component, which is this health bar script. And this is the health bar, and it is what we're going to return from this function. So up here, this function returns a health bar, and that's what we're returning. Okay, so now let's go into the game handler and create a bar in here. Let's first comment out this previous code. We're going to use it for testing later. And in here, let's go into the health bar dot create. And now in order to create, first we need the position. So let's put it on 0, 0, and then a size. Let's put it the same size as previously, which was 45. Now let's go in the editor and let's disable this old health bar. So the editor, you can see nothing is visible, nothing is visible. So now when we run, it should spawn a new health bar. Yep, there it is. Our new bar created entirely through code is working perfectly. And if I pause the game, you can see in the scene, this is the one we created previously, and this is the one we created through code. And as you can see, it's got a background, it's got the bar, and it's got the bar sprite. And we can still modify the bar, and there you go. It shifts exactly as previously. Okay, great. So now let's apply the animation we were doing previously to make sure everything still works. So after we create the health bar, we actually return a health bar, so we can get rid of that global health bar and make a new one in here. All right, and now let's again apply the same code as previously. Everything is working with the health bar, so it should be working exactly the same. So let's try. Yep, there you go, there's the bar. It is lowering in size. It now flashes when it's low and goes back to normal. Okay, great. So we have successfully created the bar through code and are now manipulating using the code we wrote previously. So now let's add a border to our bar. Let's go to our bar create function. And let's essentially duplicate our background bar. And we're going to name this the border. And let's call it border. Let's rename all of these references. Let's put the sorting order under the actual bar. And let's put the color in black. Now for the size, let's put it at the normal size plus a certain float border thickness. Let's say 1f. And in here, size plus vector 3.1 multiplied by the border thickness. So this will increase the size by 1f on all sides. So now let's see, and we should be seeing a black border around our bar as we had previously. Yep, there you go, a nice black border. Okay, so now let's customize our bar. Let's begin by customizing the border. So let's go up here and make a public class, and we're going to call it border. Now, inside this class, we're going to have two values. First of all, a public float for the thickness of the border and a public color for the color of the border. And on our health bar create function, we're going to receive a border class object, and by default, let's leave it at null. So in here, if border it is not null, then we are going to execute this and create a border, but if it is null, leave it without a border. And in here, instead of using this border thickness in here, we're going to use the one given in the border object. So go to the border and get the thickness, and go into the border and get the color. All right, so now in our game handler, let's make another bar. So let's make another bar above that one. So let's put it on 10. And in here, we're going to give it a new border. And the border will have a thickness of 1F, and let's give it a color of color.white. So we have a health bar being created using the default border, which means no border, so we're not sending anything in there, and a second one with a white border. So let's see if both of our bars are being created exactly as they should. Yep, there you go. We got one normal border, no bar, and one with a white border. Alright, now let's also add some parameters for setting the bar color and the background color. So in the healthbar.create, let's receive a color for the bar color and a color for the background color. And we're going to apply it down here. So the background, instead of color.gray, get that color. And the bar color, instead of color.red, let's give it our bar color. So let's go in our game handler. And first of all, let's give the normal colors to this one. So for the bar color, let's give it color.red, background color.gray, and do the same thing this one down here. And then above this one, let's create another health bar. We're going to put it on 20, and let's say the color will be yellow. The background color, let's put it at white, and for the border, let's put it on black. Alright, so now as you can see, we are using the same function and creating three very different bars. Let's see them. Yep, there you go. We first got a red bar with no border, then we got a yellow bar with a black border, and a red bar with a light gray background and a white border. All of these were created using the same function, and all of them were created through code. So we have been calling this a health bar, but really this code is really just a bar. If you change the color to, let's say, a blue, you could use it to represent a cooldown or a action bar. We are making the animation, lowering the size, but we could just as easily set it to increase. So what we have here is a very versatile bar. So essentially what we have created here is the world bar class from the CodeMonkey utilities. You can grab the utilities for free from unitycodemonkey.com and check out the world bar class to see how that one was implemented and what other functions it has. So there you have it. We created a health bar, both in the editor and through code. We made a function to easily create a bar on the fly with customization for size, colors, and border. If you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you next time.